Hello, YouTube, internet, or wherever you're watching this video from. My name is Chris, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about my family. Well, Sam, my older brother, and how I caught him stealing over $400,000 from us. Now, when you get caught stealing, especially this amount of money, the right thing to do would be to apologize, right? And you would try to make things right. The last thing you should do is try to threaten the person with a lawsuit. And that's exactly what happened. He's threatening to sue me for $500,000 because I caught him stealing over $400,000. So let's take a look at this text and try to find out what the fuck is going on here. Okay, so he's preparing to sue me for $500,000. And he got two witnesses, my mom and Fu, which is my little brother. And he got more evidence. But in this video, I'm only going to be speaking about the witnesses. I'm going to make another video about the evidence. But before we actually get into the witnesses, I just want to say something about this text real quick. Now, this text is probably the worst mistake that he can make in his entire life. He's going to see this text in his nightmare. Because there's a chance that he could lose his freedom. And there's a possibility that he could be facing up to 35 years in prison because of this text. So now let's get into this story. This story took place roughly around 15 years ago. Now, at that time, my family was renting a home. And my dad got sick. I'm talking about like really sick. And he knew his time was getting short. So he wanted to do something for the family. He wanted to leave something behind. So he decided that he wants to buy a house for all of us to live in. So we all agreed to it. So we were looking around and we found a nice house. And then he put around $80,000 down as a down payment on the house. Now, this $80,000, this was his life saving, right? He worked his entire life to save this money. Now, I said around 80,000. That's because I don't know the exact amount, right? And it's hard for me to find out the exact amount because there's an issue with paperwork. And I'm going to get to that later on in the video. So let's get back to the story. So we put the house under Sam's name. And let me make this really clear. The house does not belong to Sam. It belongs to everybody. But it's under his name.
Hey, I own the house. My name, man. The house under my name.
No, you're in a partnership.
No. Partnership with who?
So you don't have no partners?
No. Under the whole thing, the whole house under my name.
Did you say you have no partners?
Hello, Dan? Yeah. No, my brother just want to see the contract, how much the details, but I found it earlier. I sent it to him. He said that I scammed him. I lied to him about the contract is under $200,000. But anyway, I found a contract and I sent it to him already. So we're good.
I thought you were calling the cops.
Okay.
You don't call the cops?
No, so you said you want to call the contract. I called the contractor.
Okay. Did you say you have no partners?
No partner.
Fu is not a partner?
No, nobody partner on this house.
So this is you own this house?
I own the house by my name.
Okay.
Everything under my name. Okay? Fu is not on the title or not on the loan, nothing.
Is mom a partner?
Nobody. I will.
Hold on.
I will own.
So,
okay.
This is your house then?
That's my house.
Okay, let me repeat this one more time. The house does not belong to Sam. It's under his name, but it doesn't belong to him. He's claiming that he owns the house by himself. I have a $50,000 check that says otherwise. Fu got $200,000, and we can prove this in court. So we moved into the house, and we lived there for about maybe 5 to 6 years, and then my dad passed away. He passed away in 2014. And let me tell you something about my dad. My dad, he's a fighter. Now, I know that everybody says that about their dad. But in my case, it's true. In your case, it's not. But my case is true. Doctors, I'm not talking about one doctor, multiple doctors told him that he was gonna die in 2003. He lived and he fought for another 11 years. Every time he goes to the doctor be like, yo, where's your coffin? Why is you still alive? And my dad be like, because I be living all the time, yo. And the doctor's like, you know what? That's true. Because it was true. Because he lived for another 11 years. And it's not like he's spending all of his time in a wheelchair where he have to depend on other people. No, he's out and about. He's in the backyard building like doghouse. He built this big old like garden structure for all of his plants, digging holes and planting trees. And he's walking around the house fixing everything that's broken. And you know what? It was great. And it was great having him around. And you know what? He left a really good legacy. And now this fucking greedy piece of shit Sam is gonna destroy his entire legacy, because this video is gonna be shared to everybody in my family and friends. They all gonna know what he did to this family. So now let's talk about what Sam did. So about 2 years back, Sam decided that he wanted to do something. He wanted to remodel the house. Right? He went to my mom and asked for permission. She said no, because there was nothing wrong with the house. He went to Fu. Fu said no. He never asked me. So I don't know anything about it. And he went and he did it anyways. He went out, he got the contractor, he got the estimate, and he went to the bank and he took money out. Now the money he took out, he didn't ask anybody, okay? Because everybody turned him down. And I have no idea what the fuck is going on. Okay, this is where the story gets very murky. Okay, he went to the bank and he took money out. Fu asked him, how much did he take out? He told him 200,000, right? With no paperwork. He refused to show people the paperwork. Something is fucking wrong, right? So now time passed, about 6 months or so. Fu asked him again the same question. Hey, how much money did you take out of the bank? Now he told Fu 230. And I do believe at this moment, Fu decided enough is enough. Because 2 months later, he decided that he's gonna move out of the house. So I went and I spoke with Fu just to see what's going on and to find out the reason why he wants to move out. And that's when he told me everything. And he told me how Sam is stealing money from us. That this fucking project that he's doing is a fucking scam to steal money. Not only that, Fu and Sam, they own a business together. And Sam has been stealing money from the business for fucking years, which is a very serious crime. And I'm gonna explain that later on in the video. And then I said, fuck this. If you're leaving, I'm leaving too. He's not stealing my fucking money. But I was wrong. I was so wrong. Because the house was supposed to be split into threes. But now Sam decided that the house belonged to him because it was under his name. Now Fu got lucky because Fu and Sam still owns a business together. So he was able to negotiate with Sam and got 200,000. But I wasn't that lucky. Because I don't have any connection with Sam. He was just gonna cut me out all the way and tell me to get the fuck out of the house. But Fu was able to talk to him, and Sam agreed to give me 50 grand. And he told Fu that I was lucky to get this money because he was a good brother. He's giving me this money like I'm a fucking dog or something. So now, after I told you that little story, let's go back to that video real quick.
Hey, I own the house. My name, man. The house under my name.
No, you're in a partnership.
No. Partnership with who?
So you don't have no partners?
No.
That video was bullshit, wasn't it? Everything he said in that video was fucking bullshit. And I could prove it in court. So if he owns the house and the house is his alone, why is he paying people out? That shit doesn't make any sense. He wrote me a personal check with his name and address on there. Like, are you fucking kidding me? You want to talk about covering your tracks? You want to talk about leaving paper trail? I haven't even started talking about the witnesses yet. So let's talk about it. Let's begin with my mom. Remember that 80 grand that my dad put down for the house? Since my dad passed, that money should pass on to my mom. And let's just say if something happened to her, and I hope that she lives forever, I'm knocking on wood, but just in case if something does happen, that money was supposed to be split into threes. So after everything that I heard from Fu and I decided to go to her and try to explain the situation to her. And I told her, look, you need to get your money out of this house. He's gonna try to steal your money. Guess what happened? Can anybody take a guess what happened to the money? That's right. She is not getting shit. He is not giving anything back. 3 times she tried. She even told him that she needs that money for emergency, just in case if something happened to one of us, she'll have money to fall back on. Bro, this guy don't give a fuck. She almost got on her knee and begged him, dude, his own mother. Because this is what she was gonna do with the money. She was gonna split it into threes and give me my cut, give Fu his cut, and then return the third portion back to Sam. And I think he knows this because he told my mom this. Now I'm gonna say it in Vietnamese and then I'm gonna translate it for you. He said, "Mợ chưa chết, mợ đã muốn chia gia tài của cậu rồi." Okay, what he said was, you're not dead yet and you're already trying to split dad's money. So I'm pretty sure he knows what's going on. And he also told her this. And again, I'm going to translate it for you. He said, nếu mà con muốn lấy tiền của mợ, con có thể lấy tiền của mợ từ lâu rồi. Okay, what he said was, and again, this is to his mom, the person that gave him birth. He said, if I wanted to steal your money, I could have stolen your money a long time ago. And then she asked for her money. And then he said, fuck no. Hell no. What does that even mean, bro? That's fucking crazy, right? That's like saying, hey, I would never steal from you. And then you're like, well, can I get my money? Fuck no, that's my money. And I'm hearing all this from my room. I live at that house. I live 15 feet away. All this was going on in the dining room. There's a wall, and then there's my room with the door open. I'm standing on the other side of the wall. Dude, this guy don't give a fuck. He doesn't even care that I'm listening to him because he thinks that there's nothing that anybody can do to him because he had paperwork for the house. But I guess he was wrong. I guess he was prison wrong, maybe? Do you get it? Because he might be going to prison? Huh? Okay, let's get back to the story. So this 80 grand, my mom was gonna split it into threes, okay? Which means I get about $26,000 or $27,000 out of it. Let's just say 26. So by him not returning the money back to my mom, he actually stole $26,000 from me, personally. Plus, hey, remember the 200 grand that Fu got and I got 50 grand? Yeah, there's a difference of $150,000. Where the fuck is my money? And you know what? Let's just say I give him a break and let's just say 100 grand. He still stole $126,000 from me. 180 grand in total. And this is his first witness. He's gonna call her to the stand. Hell no, he ain't. And let me explain to you why. My mom still texts me every month to check up on me to see how I'm doing. She doesn't even know about this text. That means that she never gave him permission. He doesn't have the authority to text me this. This guy is a fucking scumbag. And if you think what he did to me and my mom was dirty, wait until you hear what he did to Fu. As I mentioned before, Fu and Sam are business partners. They own a company called Hypertech. based out of Garden Grove, Orange County, California. And they've been in business for roughly almost 20 years now. And you know what? I'm just gonna get straight to the point. Fu was supposed to meet a customer at the shop to pick up some money, $50,000. Now, for some reason, Fu couldn't make it in time. So the customer gave Sam the money. Guess what happened to the money? This guy is a fucking wizard because he made that money disappear. $50,000. How stupid do you think people are? Like, they're not gonna notice that $50,000 is missing? And like, how can you look someone in the eyes knowing that you stole 50 grand from them? And not just somebody, this is your fucking brother. And what kind of a person is comfortable enough to steal $50,000? I'll tell you, the same person that stole $80,000 from my mom, the same motherfucker that stole another 100 grand from me. It's the same fucking guy. But this is different. You see, the money that he stole from me and my mom, there's nothing that we can do about it because we don't have paperwork to the house. And he knows this. But the money that he stole from Fu, this is against the law. This is a crime. This is called embezzlement. And this is a federal crime. A crime that can put you in prison for years. Because once he used his business to steal the money, now his business is involved in theft. And guess who's going to be knocking on his door? The FBI. And they would have to open a criminal investigation on him and his company. And once the FBI get their eyeballs on you, bro, you're done. It's a wrap. They got more than 95% conviction rate. That means 19 out of 20 people get convicted. And with the evidence provided in this video and myself willing to testify against him in court, I doubt that he's going to be the one that got away. And if he does get convicted, he could be facing up to 20 years in prison. But there's more. There's so much more to this story. Because as I mentioned before, I talked to Fu. And he told me that he discovered that Sam embezzled over $250,000 through hypothec. Sam stole over $250,000 from him. And I already told you about the 50 grand, right? So now I'm gonna go into detail and explain to you how he stole the rest of the money. Okay, let's just say that you and I are business partners, right? Everything right down the middle, 50-50. We own a shop. A customer comes into the shop and bought some merchandise from us. He also wants us to install it at his house and do maintenance on it for years to come. So we stop by his house, install the merchandise, which is no problem. And before we leave, I gave him one of my business cards with my name and my phone number on there. So about 5 to 6 months later, he gave me a call, right? He said, Chris, I need some maintenance done. Can you stop on by to check out the merchandise to make sure that everything is working like it's supposed to? Which I said, of course, no problem. And I stopped on by and I checked it out. Everything is working correctly. And of course, I have to charge them some money before I leave. But I forgot to mention this to you. Now, of course, this is an honest mistake. We're best friends, bro, and I would never, ever steal from you. And I promise that this will never happen again. But what if it did happen again and again and again and again? How many times would this have to happen before you say something? What if I did this 5 more times? Would you say something then? How about 10, 50, 100, 500, 1,000 times? What if I did this almost 2,000 times? Would you say something then? Because this is exactly what Sam did. He was doing this 4 to 5 times a week. And he was charging people $200 to $250 a pop. And Fu told me he found out that Sam's been doing this for over 10 years. So now let's do some math and try to figure out how much money that is. So let's just say if he was doing it 4 times a week at $250 a pop. Now that comes out to be $1,000 a week. There's 52 weeks in a year, right? So let's just say he takes 2 weeks off for vacation or whatever. We still got 50 weeks. So 50 weeks times 1,000, that's $50,000. He was stealing $50,000 a year. And he's been doing this for over 10 years. Let's just say 10 years. So 50,000 times 10 years, that's $500,000. Plus the 50 grand that I told you from before, that's $550,000. Now half of that money belongs to Fu. You see what I'm saying? That's how Fu came to the conclusion that Sam stole over $250,000 from him. But just for kicks, let's find out how many times he actually did it. Okay, so he was doing it 4 times a week, right? Times 50 weeks in a year. That's 200 times. And 200 times 10 years, that's 2,000 times. He did that shit over 2,000 times. That's crazy. These numbers are insane. But there's more to this story. Another crime has been committed here. So let me break this down for you. Okay, the $550,000 that he stole, all the money went from the customer into his pocket. Okay, the money never went through Hypertech, because if it did, he would have to split that money with Fu. And since the money never went through the business, it was never reported to the IRS. This is called tax fraud. This is a felony crime. And if he gets charged for this, he could be facing up to 5 years in prison and up to $100,000 in fines. But there's more. I still have more evidence. Because as of the time this video is being released, he is running 2 other tax scams, like right now. And he's been doing it for the last 15, 20 years. So he could be facing up to 3 counts of tax fraud and tax scam. And he could be facing up to 15 years in prison, plus up to $300,000 in fines, plus the other 20 years that he might get for the embezzlement. He is facing some serious time. This guy is in deep water. And guess what? He's going to sink straight to the bottom. And he's not going to be able to make it to land. And nobody is coming to help him, because everybody that loves him and cares for him, he fucked them over. My mom and Fu, they're not going to court and they're not going to testify to anything. Yeah, they're witnesses. They witnessed him stealing all of their money. That's what they witnessed to. How much money? Well, let's find out. So 80 grand from my mom, which I have $26,000 of that money. Another 100 grand from me through the house, and $275,000 from Fu through Hypertech. That comes out to be over $455,000. And now he's threatening to sue me for another $500,000 because I caught him stealing over $455,000? That shit doesn't even make any fucking sense. And he's claiming that the house belonged to him and only him, but yet he's paying people out. That shit doesn't make any sense either. He wrote me a personal check with his name and his address on there. And he's gonna call 2 of his victims to court as witnesses. That shit doesn't make any sense either. I have never seen or heard of a case where the prosecutor would call victims to the stand as witnesses on their behalf. That is fucking crazy. And now he could be facing up to 35 years in prison. Now, is he gonna get 35? In my honest opinion, most likely not. But then again, I'm not the government, so that decision is not up to me. But I will be reaching out to the proper authority and hoping, that's the only thing I can do, is that I hope that I have provided enough evidence here in this video for them to at least consider investigating this company and this person. And just hoping, again, that's all I can do, that we can get some charges and it could lead to some convictions and bring this guy to justice. Justice for my mom, who is too old to defend herself. Justice for Fu, who is just too much of a nice guy to even fight back. But most important, justice for me, because I don't fucking deserve this. I don't deserve to be threatened with a $500,000 lawsuit from a guy who stole at least $126,000 from me. But hey, that's it for me for this video. I will be making another one with even more evidence. I'm gonna talk about the history of Hypertech from the beginning till now and all the tax fraud and the tax scam that they've been running for the last 15, 20 years. I'm also gonna be talking about paperwork. Well, one sheet of paper. After I accused him of stealing over $400,000 and I wanted proof that he didn't, he texted me one sheet of paper. And guess what? It was fake. And I'm going to talk about that in the next video. And there's another story that I would like to tell. And it's involved an underage girl. So after the next video, there could be more charges coming his way. But hey, that's it for me for this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.